Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and I finally get to do quite a positive match reaction. One that I can talk about a lot of goals, a lot of entertaining football, and one where Celtic actually, make football a joy to watch at times. Hasn't happened often this season, but anyway, we're through to the semi-finals of the League Cup. At point of recording, we don't know who we've drawn in the semi-final yet, but one step closer to the first trophy of the season, and that's what matters. If you haven't already, please make sure to hit like and subscribe. It would be much appreciated. We're here for the match reaction, and I can only apologise if I kind of slip over my words. I've just done it right there. I'm a wee bit hungover. Engagement party last night went hard, and I'm feeling the effects of it right now. But nonetheless, I'm still here. I'm going to try my best to give you as accurate a match reaction as possible. And I think the title of my video will tell you everything I want to talk about. We could sit and analyse the 90 minutes. We could sit and talk about phases of play and certain moments and characters and performances or whatever. But Sebastian Taneki very quickly capturing the hearts of Celtic supporters, and it's very easy to see why. I think it's very nice that we've signed a player that didn't have a lot of expectation, that didn't have a lot of pressure to come in and be the finished article straight away. I think it's allowed us to sit back and be a little bit more casual in our assessment of Sebastian Taneki, but he has delivered above all expectations, and he is somebody who hasn't been casual. What a player. And I don't like rushing in about players. I don't want to come on here and say that Sebastian Taneki is the next big thing. He's the next £25 million export at Celtic. But over his first two games, it's hard not to get carried away just with how positive a player he is. And I think that more than anything is what stands out about him. It's how positive a player he is. I still think there's a lot of improvement that can be done to his game. I think he's still very raw. But from the first two games, and from the limited minutes we've seen of him so far, he's a right Celtic winger. He's exactly what you want a Celtic winger. You want someone entertaining. You want someone with drive. You want somebody who's not afraid to take a man on, who'll do whatever he needs to do, whether that's hit the line, cut inside, whatever suits the aim of scoring goals in those moments. He does it. He's a risk taker. He's just exciting. And I absolutely adore the guy already. And he's been here 5 minutes. So it's hard not to get carried away. It's hard not to jump in two-footed. But here we are. Great, there's my kebab came midway through recording. So this is going to be a late upload tonight. And his energy resonated throughout all the attackers. And I think that's what's most important. When you have someone like that in your team, it makes all your other attackers positive. It makes all your other attackers brave. And that's the kind of thing that we've been missing so far this season. That sort of intensity in the forward line that I think he's now bringing into the team. And as I said, I think he can get better. So if he gets better, Celtic are going to reap all the rewards of that. And we're going to get better as an attacking outfit. So I am chuffed with what I've seen of him so far. And long may his form continue. Let's hope it's not a flash in the pan. Let's hope it's not razzle and dazzle for the sake of a new signing and it all disappears. We've seen it happen plenty of times in the past. I want this to be sustained, and honestly, I'm all in. My stock, I bought it all. I've bought my stock up on Sebastian Taneki. I'm ready. I'm ready for the future of the Celtic attack. Right, I'm back for my kebab, and I have seen who we got in the semi-finals of the Cup. We'll come on to that. Back to Partick Thistle for a moment. I want to get this done quick because the Eagles kick off in like 5 minutes' time. It was easily our most emphatic performance of the season, and you can only take that statement with a pinch of salt when you're playing the likes of Partick Thistle, and I mean that with all due respect, but it's Partick Thistle. They're a Scottish Championship side. You're expected to score 3 or 4 goals into Partick Thistle every time you sort of play them in this current climate. So I mean it with respect, but it was still a very emphatic performance and easily our best of the season so far. And I think there was plenty to be positive about in the performance that we can take into Wednesday, and that we can take into the remaining league games. And of course the semi-finals of the Cup now. And I think obviously Wednesday will be an even bigger example or test of where we are right now when that game is all said and done with. But I was happy today. And as I say, I think Taneki brought a real sort of life into the attacking three that has been so needed. I mean, even Yang had a good game today, had a solid game. Ahi and Acho looked decent as well. Very unlucky not to get on the score sheet. But everything was just coming through Taneki. He's got everything about him. He's got ability. He's got that quickness about him. He's got good feet. And he's got a bit of bite. got a bit of, you've seen him getting in about it, and yeah, I just love him. I love him already. Welcome to the team. A more than welcomed addition. We just looked a lot more useful in the first half, I thought. Benjamin Nygren getting 2 assists in the space of 2 minutes. It was a good performance from him in terms of, creating and making chances. And that's something that we've obviously struggled to do all season, is really create clear-cut chances. Our crossing hasn't been good enough, our set pieces haven't been good enough, but there was a clear improvement in them today, and that's the reason why, we end up scoring as many as we do, and we looked as good as we did in doing so. So, yeah, I was really happy with the first half. As I said, I think there was just a lot more in this, a lot more of the familiar Celtic side of last season, this point last season. And yeah, we didn't slow down in the second half. We kept going for it, and once again, I just thought we looked really good. 2 goals in the second half coming from, of course, Taneki and McCowan. And once again, the football leading up to the goals was brilliant, especially the last goal for McCowan's. I was fantastic from Balikwisha to win the ball in the way he did, and I was really kind of pleased with Balikwisha's cameo today. I only came on and played, 20 minutes or so. But I really thought there was an improvement from him, and that time I thought it was the right decision to leave him on the bench today. Maybe just give him that bit of motivation. And yeah, he came on and impressed, but the work that was it today. It just felt like right until, when you're 2-0 up at half time against Partick Thistle, I think we've seen it at times before with Celtic in games like that, where they come out in the second half and the game's won, and it's maybe not, the second half doesn't deliver the same intensity or the same desire maybe. That didn't feel like that today. It felt like the second half they came out with the same drive to win the game and to score more goals in the game, and that was, in every player that came on the park, off the bench and whatnot. So yeah, no, I'm really professional that we kept going to the end, and I was, as I said, I couldn't pick out a bad performance today. There was wee mistakes here and there. Liam Scales was guilty of giving the ball away or falling asleep at the back, and at times where Kieran Tierney would maybe let his man go by, or somebody in the midfield would lose possession. Wee things that happen on the game-to-game basis of football. But generally, I couldn't really moan about anybody today because we were just very well drilled. And I think that's going to be so important for these next few weeks, is that term, well drilled. We need to see Celtic be well drilled going into this Carvina Zvezda game and so on and so forth in the Europa League. So, the better they look as a unit, the more that we should expect better results, expect good results in Europe in particular, and I hope that's the case. And there's not really much else I want to go over in terms of specifics. As general run-of-the-mill stuff in a game like this, we're through to the semi-final, and that's what matters most. But it was good to see Tierney get the full game. There was very uncomfortable conversations on the horizon if we didn't get to a point where we could get Kieran Tierney out in a pitch for 90 minutes or even 80 minutes. But today he managed the whole game, so very happy to see that. And hopefully that's the case now moving forward. We see him 90 minutes. I'm surprised they gave him 90 with Crvena Zvezda through the week. But I'm not complaining because he needs it. He does. And we need to put this whole thing to bed about some players need to be taken off here and there. No, we need them match fit. We need them 90-minute fit. And Kieran Tierney was struggling, man. He was struggling these first few games of the season. So I think that was really, really important today. And he was fine. He was good as well. Good enough performance for me after a couple of performances that weren't all that great for his very high standards. So, chuffed with the performance, chuffed with the results, some great goals, some good football. Celtic hopefully back now. So it's Rangers at Hampden, and of course we'll save this dialogue for a bit further down the line, a bit closer to the game itself. It's scheduled for the weekend of November 1st, November 2nd, I believe. We don't know if it's a Saturday or Sunday yet. Most likely the Sunday, you would assume. Listen, it's a chance to right the wrongs of what happened at Ibrox a few weeks back. I don't know if Russell Martin will still be there by the time we play them, but Celtic really have no excuse. In fact, Rangers was who I wanted. I would have rathered Rangers than Motherwell or St Mirren, and I mean that. Genuinely. I mean, Rangers are 11th in the league, so technically speaking, they're relegation fodder at the minute. I would have rathered that than an unbeaten Motherwell side or a St Mirren side who are very tough to beat. So, yeah, listen, we have a chance to right the wrongs, and we should be taking that, and we should be really just making a point that we are superior in every way at the minute. But we'll wait and see how that goes. Rangers in the Cup. I'll see you soon. Take care. Sorry for a bit of a rushed one today. Between the hangover and the dinner and the Eagles, I'm all over the place. My head's scrambled. We'll be back to talk about more things more in depth tomorrow. So see you then.